One name you didn't put in there was Daniel Dubois. And the reason I bring that up is because you are now working with Daniel as an advisor. So a word on that. But also he's moved on from Don Charles and Kieran Farrell, who left a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Reports online that it's Tony Sims as the new trainer. So what light can you shed on that? Look,
in regards to Don Charles, Daniel's made the decision that he wanted a change. Don Charles has been an amazing part of Daniel's career, guided him to become a world heavyweight champion, which is not easy to do. Against Anthony Joshua in the Lions Den in Wembley Stadium, that's there forever. He's done an amazing job, Don Charles, but Daniel's decided he wanted to move on and have a fresh start, and Kieran and Don did a great job, but it's now a fresh start for Daniel elsewhere. In regards to his next trainer, Daniel will make his own statement about that in the next few days.
So you're not saying it's not Tony Sims, but you're not saying it is Tony Sims?
I'm not confirming or denying, but Daniel needs to make his own statement. So it's not right for me. I've been involved with Daniel for just over a week. I'm not gonna just
welcome to the spotlight.
Yeah. I'm not just. By the way, what's happening here? It's up for Daniel. Daniel's a 27-year-old man, former world heavyweight champion. It's down to him to make his own announcements as to what he's doing next.
That's fair enough, yeah. I'll stop poking the bear. Pat, let's talk about your career. Well done so far. I mean, it's been crash, bang, wallop, but it's been very, very impressive. I think it's put bums on seats. People are talking about you in the right circles. Just how have you found the adjustment to the pro game? You're a very talented amateur, and one thing that a lot of people always said was, you know, God, he really does have a pro style. So how have you found it now that you are in the paid ranks?
Yeah, I definitely got thrown in the deep end. You know, my pro debut, headlined in Altrincham. I had, you know, all my family, friends and loved ones there, and it was one of the best nights of my life. You know, the atmosphere was unbelievable, and that's the way I am as a person. I love getting thrown in the deep end. That's what happened when I was on GB. They skipped me, got me straight on the podium squad, and I didn't even have any international fights, so I got well and truly through in the deep end, and that's the way I am. And in terms of how different it is, yeah, you're training, you're sitting on your shots. You know, this pro game, it's the business of pain. It's the business of, you know, getting your knuckle and clamping someone's skull.
Like
and
this is what we're seeing now, Pat.
It's horrible. It's not a nice sport at times, but then it also shows you're not a bully and you're not someone who takes liberties outside of the sport. You've got to conduct yourself well and be a role model. But like I said, the pro game, it ain't tippy-tappy, wappy-wappy. It's you're getting stuck in, and it's two men and they're having it, and the strongest survive.
Sam and I are both smiling, but they're kind of like nervous smiles because you have a switch. I don't know if you know that you have it, but when he goes, Sam, you know, there's a fine line between the banter you can have with him and then you realise you're no longer having banter and he's looking at you like he has done earlier.
I say I've seen it firsthand. On his first debut week, obviously we're getting to know each other. I wouldn't say I was scared of him, but I wouldn't be sitting as close as I am now to him on the
I'd say I'm scared of him.
That's what I would say. He's got a switch. Like Pat's a lovely guy. I say it with a very straight face. He's a lovely guy, but he has got a switch. But like you say, you're in a hurt business, and he's a special fighter, and he's going to go a long, long way to the very, very top. But as I say, he has got the switch where I wouldn't want to be sat this close to him.
Yeah, just very briefly, there are these comparisons with Ricky Hatton, and it's a lot more refined than people just saying, you know, both from Manchester, both big ticket sellers. You know, I think there are a lot of comparisons. Heavy wears the crown. How is that comparison weighing on you?
Yeah, it's weighing on me perfectly, really. You know, Ricky Hatton, like you just said there, it's not just boxing. I said this before, and to many people, Manchester, especially where I live, I'm on the outskirts of the city, and you know, it's a community, and we're very proud of that. And if I walk into, I can name 5 pubs that I could walk into without, you know, texting anyone, and I would find someone in there, have a good night, have a good catch up, and it's old school. People are still playing darts, they're still betting fivers, they're still playing cards in the corner, and you've got this world of social media and people are glued to the phones. Well, when you've got this community and you know people from back in the day as kids and they're all backing you and all that, it's beautiful. And my old man, he's well known round Sale, Manchester, and yeah, it's just beautiful that they can all get behind me and we're giving back that old school boxing that, in my opinion, it's needed.
Yeah, I'm smiling away, and it's because it's a great message. Yeah, long may the pub culture of boxers and the community continue. Thanks very much, Pat. Now, I'm delighted to say that we are being joined by former world champion Amir Khan via Zoom. Hello, Amir. I believe you some exciting news to share with us regarding the first show that you'll be promoting in Nigeria. How did that come about and what is it all about?
So we had a fantastic show back in July in Ghana, and now obviously we'll be doing another big show in Africa once again. Obviously Nigeria this time is going to be, we've just teamed up with a company over there, Balmoral Group, and it's going to be on the 1st of October. We're going to have a fantastic show in Lagos. It's going to be a Nigerian Independence Day, and I think it's going to be a massive night of boxing there.
Yeah, so some of the names on the bill. Rocky Fielding's coming out of retirement. We know him well. To face Brandon Glanton, while Dan Aziz is on the card. Richard Comey, Elvis Ahorga, the soldier. So he's sort of starting off with a bang. What are your hopes and expectations out there?
Yeah, I mean, we're starting off with a bang. The last show was an amazing show that we had. This one's going to be even better. We've learned from the first show. We're going to not make... There's a few little mistakes that we made. We're not going to make the same mistakes again. But the thing is, you know, to have a great card like Rocky Fielding coming out of retirement after 2.5 years. You've got Brandon Glanton, who just lost against Chris Billen-Smith. He's another great fight. Obviously, we've got Dan Aziz, who's looking amazing. And also, this is a fight for him that he wants to tick off the bucket list. Being Nigerian himself, having family there, you know, this is a fight that I wish, when I was a fighter, if I had the opportunity to fight in Pakistan, that's where my family are from, it would have been an amazing thing, though. So, you know, then we've got other fighters like Richard Comey. He's from Ghana. He's fought the likes of Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko. He's a former world champion. And like you said, we would go back to the fan favorite, Elvis Ahorga. Big fan base he has, big crowd he pulls in, and he's very entertaining.
Amir, I've got to be honest, can't see any grey hairs there, so I'm interested. What is more stressful? What are you enjoying more? Was it easier to be a fighter or easier in the promotional business?
You know what? It's a little bit easier being in the promotional business because you're not taking any punches. I mean, in boxing, you know, it's a brutal sport, just like you were saying in the interviews then. It's a dangerous sport. You're always got one punch away from getting hurt. And boxing now is on such a high in Great Britain. We've got some great champions. And there's some mega fights that are happening in Saudi Arabia. Just last week I was in Saudi, and we've got great up-and-coming champions coming through as well. So yeah, boxing is on a high, and I'm glad I'm sat on the other side.
Yeah, just quick before you go, Crawford, Canelo, you know them both very well, having boxed them both. Size does matter in this one, you think, but who do you think will win and why? Look,
I'm the only guy to share the ring with both guys. And I always said, look, both fighters are great. They're both great at what they do. I thought Canelo, you know, he was easier to hit. He had slow feet, but fast hands. I never expected him to have the fast hands he had. And obviously, he has a lot of power. So that's one thing Crawford has to worry about, you know, the size and the power. But then again, I saw a picture of Crawford where he was weighing around about 180 pounds, looked strong, looked big. And I think he holds the weight well. And he's another fighter that's very strong, very powerful. So, you know what? I do lean more towards Crawford in this fight because he's the more fresher fighter. He's not been in too many wars like Canelo's been in. But look, like I said, this is a top-level boxing, this is. So I don't know who's going to win. But like I said, I do lean more towards Crawford.
Amir, absolute pleasure. I'll make you right. It's a mega fight, isn't it? Best of luck with your venture as well.
Thank you very much.